In 6 months, my bike will become my home, my mode of transportation. Let's talk about exactly what I'm doing to prepare for this journey ahead that begins on May 1st, 2026. So, mentally, how I'm preparing to live off my bike full time. It's just one of those things where I was in the Marine Corps for 4 years, so me like sleeping outside and camping is not really an issue for me. But I can understand why people would be kind of hesitant on doing something like this. And the simple fact is, like, sleeping outside can be potentially uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? I joined the Marines to fight for freedom and, fight for those personal freedoms that people love, sitting around, watching TV, the comfort of your own home, being able to go to your own toilet to take a shit and piss. Trust me, I firmly love those comforts. But at the same time, like, the freedom of just exploring the world around you and, going wherever you want without people really telling you what to do, that is freedom to me. What do I expect to learn for myself on the road? Well, I want to be able to be a better person. And I want to be able to go outside and go make friends and go hang out and do normal things. And I struggle with that. So mentally, I want to be a better person. And I feel like traveling on a bike, challenging myself physically and mentally, putting myself out there would definitely help with that in a lot of ways. And one of those things I like to talk about is, when you're traveling, you're going to be alone unless you travel with other people, which I do plan on, like, doing some random, like, rides with people along the travels and stuff. But for the most part, 90%, maybe 98% of the time, I will be alone. And that is another aspect that I have to prepare for and deal with, which I've done it before. Last year when I traveled through the United States, like I said, 98% of the time I was alone. I never was really around anybody, especially when I stealth camp. When I stealth camp, I make a point to literally get away from people. And there's nothing wrong with that, but at the same time, you got to have that balance of being around people and being alone as well, and being able to mentally deal with that. Another thing I do need to prepare for and, lock down is just me shooting and making content, because this is technically it's my job. This is what I want to do for a living, is be a travel vlogger and show people that, hey, you can go around the world and travel for pretty cheap and still enjoy it. Despite the fact that, yeah, you're not going to get all these comforts all the time, because I go to a hotel once a week when I travel. 6 days a week, I'm on the road, traveling, sleeping on the road. Even if it rains, cold, heat, it doesn't matter what it is, I'm out there, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, potentially dangerous, potentially uncomfortable. It's going to be uncomfortable. There's no doubt there. Hell, most of the days will be uncomfortable, but I love it, you know what I mean? Because you're living, and that's it. You're living. It's great. I personally love to challenge myself, and that is the biggest thing for me. Is when I was in the Marine Corps, it was a very challenging 4 years. Every day you're put to the test, and that's great. I loved it because you're not bored, you're not just sitting around, you have a purpose in life, and that means a lot to me. Probably means more than anything, honestly, because us men need purpose, you know what I mean? If we don't have purpose, we're just wandering around doing fucking nothing, and that is not a good thing for a man in general at all. That's when you start to dwell in alcoholism, drugs, other worse things, you know what I'm saying? So I think the best thing for me is to keep challenging myself. Once I got out of the Marines, it was kind of like, you're on your own, man. Trying to find a job and just trying to live a normal life was just not it for me. So me deciding to travel was putting a challenge on my life. So every day you're going to be riding. I ride 50 plus miles a day, sometimes 40 miles with full gear. That's the challenge. But the dopamine is me just being outside and, you know what I mean, traveling and seeing new things and seeing and meeting new people. That's the dopamine. So you gotta balance that out with the challenge of bicycling. Otherwise, I'd be like, millionaires, when they travel, it's dopamine all day. You know what I mean? All they get is dopamine. They get to hop on a plane, they hop on a boat, they go exactly where they want to go, and they don't have to do anything. There's no journey to the destination. It's just boom, destination, instant dopamine. That's why I challenge myself with the cycling and preparing myself that way as well. And I have many fears. And that's the best part about, the challenge, the adventure. If you don't have a sense of like, fear, if you're not scared, then you're just not going to enjoy it at all. And I know that sounds insane, but I'm telling you right now, having some kind of fear of something happening makes the adventure much better. For example, you'll get stuck on the road where your bike breaks down. You got to figure that out. And I've had it happen last year where I had a rear wheel when I was in North Carolina. After getting it replaced in Maryland, it was starting to get like little, the spokes were going inside the rim and making like little gashes and stuff in the rim where the, the lip basically where the spokes go. So I posted online about it and people were like, yeah, you need to get a new wheel. So I was like, okay. I was in Maryland doing the C&O towpath and my wheel was ruined, so I had to get a new one. So I had to wait around for a couple of days just for this bike shop guy. I forgot what the town it was. And he had to order me a new wheel, so I had to wait around for a couple of days for the wheel, and it was raining every single day on the C&O. I finally got that wheel replaced, and then I was on my way, and then I get to North Carolina, and the wheel, and literally like about 2 or 3, maybe it was about 3 or 4 weeks after I got this wheel, it completely just ruins. I'm talking about it, like pretty much gets mangled from getting a flat tire. I get a flat tire from doing this resupply at this grocery store. Then I realized, oh shit, I just got a flat tire. As soon as I removed the wheel from the frame, it just fucking fell apart basically. And it took about 5 days for me to get a ride to Wilmington, North Carolina, where I finally, eventually got the wheel replaced. But like I said, that's what I'm talking about. Little things like that can make you feel really anxious and scared, but at the same time, it's like, well, let me figure it out, you know what I mean? And that's a great thing about, that's what I like about being a man in general, man, is just like problem solving is, to me, something I enjoy, which is weird. And there was times when I got really low on money, and actually one time where I did run out of money, and I had to, like I said, wait around for a couple of days with barely anything and wait till I get paid again. So there's a lot of aspects that you got to think about. You know what I mean? That you could mess up easily and not even, you don't even think about this stuff. Like, I don't think about that shit when I'm on the road, but then it happens, then you think about it, then you're like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? You know what I mean? So it's great, being vulnerable and being, having moments of weakness, having moments of fear. It's gonna happen and you just gotta push through it. And that's what makes the story even better, in my opinion. The story of just your travels, your adventure, you gotta have that fear in there. It has to happen. It's the same thing when I joined the Marines. I went to Afghanistan for the first time. I literally was panicking for a while. And eventually you get used to it. But still, the fear is always gonna be there. You just gotta know how to deal with the fear. And also talking to people too, get you through it. Trust me, I've been there before where I post videos where I'm freaking out about something and people give people give me words of encouragement, and it helps a lot. This is the bike I will be traveling with. It is a Surly Bridge Club. I don't even know the year, honestly, of the bike. I bought it used for about, I think it was like $1,300. But so far, I've already put hundreds of dollars into it. Like, I got this rack for it, the Surly front rack. That thing is expensive, by the way. I bought these grips, the saddle, the Brooks saddle, the race face flat pedals, but also I purchased Shimano Q's 1x10. The entire setup here is in this box. So roughly next month or so, January or December or January, I will be taking this bike to a bike shop so it can replace the entire drivetrain. Because right now, currently, I'm running a SRAM Eagle 1x12, and it came with the bike, but I don't like SRAM and I don't really care for it, and I heard it's a really bad drivetrain. It still runs, and it got me from West Virginia to Ohio, but I just don't see myself using it, and I don't even know how old it is either. So that's another thing. I don't know how long it's been used for, how old it is, how many miles it's got. So I bought an entire, everything for the drivetrain, replacing the crank arms, the bottom bracket, shifter, rear cassette, everything's getting replaced. But this is the bike I will be riding with though. keeping it pretty simple by rocking out only just 4 panniers to carry all my gear. In the 5th and final bag, this houses my tent, sleeping pad, and my hammock. To help me prepare for my travels, my entire sleep system is right here. This is my tent, a Nature Hike Cloud Up 2, a Hennessy 4-season hammock, Thermarest sleeping pad, and this is my Sea to Summit Spark sleeping bag that is 15 degrees. It's in this is called a storage cell, by the way. This will not be packed in like this. It did come with a compression sack. It's just recommended not to compress it unless you're traveling. And even when I'm traveling, I'll have it compressed all day, but then obviously when you're sleeping, you get like a few hours where it's not compressed. But you do not want this sleeping bag to be compressed all the time. So the storage cell is why it's in there. But yeah, sleeping system. All my hygiene shit goes inside this little black bag, and my first aid kit so you can take care of yourself. Alright, so my cooking gear, what I need to eat my food and stuff. Got the coffee cup right here. Don't really care about a fancy one. My titanium pot, it's like 750 milliliters. Fuel, it varies all the time. Nalgene bottle, I will have 2 of those. I still have gear to buy. I will have 3 of these bottles. This is my water filtration shit. I got the Sawyer squeeze with the C-Knock bladder, so you guys can get the water easily. MSR pocket rocket, it's awesome. Twig stove, probably one of the best pieces of gear I own. Fire starter cubes for the twig stove, and this is my utensils. This is everything I need to work on my bike while I'm on the road. Drivetrain cleaner to clean your chain and your cassette and all that. It works really good. It's from Muck Off. I highly recommend you guys get that shit. This is Muck Off inner tube sealant, obvious reasons. This is duct tape wrapped around an old grip. Duct tape repairs a lot of shit. Definitely have it. 3 inner tubes, a manual pump, but I also have an electric one right here that works flawlessly. This is all my general repair shit right here. Lube, rag, and my Brooks Proofide, and zip ties, because you will need zip ties. No doubt, I've used them plenty of times. Hell, one time I had to repair a front rack. I had lowriders before I got the front rack last year, and one of the lowriders broke off the fucking frame and fork, and I had to literally repair it with zip ties, and it lasted me the entire rest of the tour. Never had to do anything else with it. Sometimes I had to bend it back, but either way, it worked. Another way that I've been preparing for this upcoming travel, adventure, excursion, whatever you want to call it, is I train. So Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I go to the gym, and I have like 2 workouts that I do at the gym, 2 different ones, and I just alternate them, every other day. So I basically mix my leg days into those 2 different workouts. So it's basically total body, but it's only 2 different workouts. One of them primarily focuses on chest, the other one primarily focuses on back, but there's still leg exercises in both of those workouts. See, on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, that's when I do the bike rides. So basically, I just hop on my bike, and where I'm at right now, the cycling infrastructure is insane. There's bike paths everywhere. They go for miles. Like, I can go literally 30 miles one way and still have more to go if I wanted to. So typically on these days that I train, I usually go for about 30 plus miles a ride. Some days I might even go for 20 if I'm not really feeling it. But as long as I get on the bike and actually ride for more than at least 10 and just keep that, going, that repetition of you actually being on the bike, that's all the training you need. You don't actually have to train with a fully loaded bike to train for a bike tour, which is, a lot of people think that, but really all you gotta do is just ride. Also, as I'm preparing for this trip, I am trying to save as much money as possible. I did have a job, but I got fired because I was posting TikTok videos, which is very odd to me. It wasn't anything like negative or anything like that, but I did have a steady stream of income that helped me buy my gear, which I did get most of it, but I also collect VA disability, which is roughly almost $2,000 a month. So I use that to travel. Also, on top of that, I've been using it right now to survive in my uncle's house, like buying my food every month, paying my bills, but also buying the gear that I need, which I only have like a little bit of stuff left to buy. December and January are the last 2 months I have to buy gear, period. After that, I have to just get a passport and then take my bike to the shop to get the entire drivetrain replaced. That's pretty much all I got left to do before I can even leave. The things that I'm really most excited for is obviously just getting outside and just being on my bike all day, traveling. And a lot of people think that's like the worst thing to do. It just depends on who you are. Me, I am like comfortable and I actually enjoy living pretty minimal, and also like being able to go wherever I want without anybody telling me what to do and have no hold on me. I don't like to be at one place at one time, so that's why I love what I do. That's why I'm so excited. I think about it all day. Every day I've been sitting here just getting ready to travel. I think about travel. I think about what I want to do, what I want to see. You know, and I got a lot of friends that wanted me to visit them as well, but there's also states that I've never even been to that I cannot wait to travel through. Like, for example, Texas. I've been to Texas once, but I cannot wait just to cycle through there. You know, it's Texas, New Mexico. I've been to California twice, but not traveling, just for training when I was in the Marine Corps. So just going through California and cycling up the entire west coast of California is going to be, I cannot wait. Like, and not to mention going to Florida again. The first time I ever been to Florida was last year, and I absolutely loved it. So I'm so looking forward to going down there again. So that is everything I am doing to prepare myself for the upcoming tour next year, starting May 1st, 2026. Like I said, I'll be cycling around the entire country, and it will take me roughly about a year and some change. And when I'm done, I'm coming back to Ohio and preparing to go to Europe for about a year or two. So it's like, I'm gonna keep going to all these continents, all the 7 ones, except probably not Antarctica, obviously, because there's really no cycling there. But either way, you know what I mean. I will be cycling around the entire world. Right now, you're just seeing the preparation for it. So it's actually pretty awesome that you guys are here along for the ride. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Much love, and please subscribe to the channel if you guys are interested in bike touring and want to see my upcoming journey. Much love, guys.